I'm Coach Tina Shawson and welcome to my podcast. If you're in a season of change, growth, reflection, or even confusion, you're in the right place. Think of this as our little conversation, something that is honest, unfiltered, and grounded in the things you all go through, but rarely talk about. Here I get to show up as myself too, not just as a coach, but as a fellow human being navigating life, learning, unlearning, and growing right alongside with you. So settle in and let's begin. Have you drafted your perfect New Year's resolution? Well, oftentimes for our year to be perfect, we were taught to always plan ahead. If possible, 12 months. If possible, 365 days. We're taught how to create this perfect plan. Well, that was applicable then. Even that was the way I was taught how to do New Year's plan. Perfect, long-term. Primarily because I grew up in an environment that is predictable. That time, pwede naman talaga kasi predictable ang environment and it's something na perfect plans can survive. But that was then. Now, environment is so volatile, it's even brittle, and plans and information may be non-linear. Plans that are so predictable may no longer be the case. My take on plans for 2026, it need not be perfect. It need not be grand. We do not need a perfect plan, but we need three things to make the New Year's resolution or the New Year's plan effective. First, we need to have a clear North Star. Kailangan alam natin what we want to pursue. We need to have that mid to longer term view of things so that we will aim for that. And dapat crystal clear yun Kailangan maliwanag, kailangan alam mo kung ano yun. Now, it's a question of paano tayo pupunta doon. Now, this is where the second one comes in. We need to have an adaptive approach. Meaning, hindi kailangang isang diskarte lang. We can actually work on certain things, certain solutions, or certain approaches that would allow us to move a little closer to that North Star. The third, and the first one is a North Star, the second one is adaptive approach. The third one is a mindset of change readiness because I can bet that things will change as we go through 2026. This is the year of the fire horse. Things would change. And what is important now is that we have that change readiness coupled with our adaptive approaches and a clear North Star. So yun yung tatlo, to me, is so important. Why is that critical? Because we all know clarity is built through movement. How come some people get stuck and others don't? But they actually went through the same problem. Because some people simply get stuck, simply will not move or cannot move. They don't take the risk in crafting those smaller plans. So to me, yun yung importante. Clarity is built through movements. Movement is about creating smaller steps that would move us closer to the direction that we want to pursue. So, do I need a perfect plan to have my year ignited? No, I don't need that perfect plan. But what I need are the three things: clarity in my North Star, an adaptive approach in how I move closer to my North Star, and a mindset of change readiness. In so doing, I now become more agile. I now become more resilient in the unpredictable things that might happen as I move closer to my ambitions or the goals that I have set in life. That's why I really believe I don't need a perfect plan. Now, I don't need a perfect plan, but I need those three so that I can pursue it. I don't need a perfect plan because I have to anticipate it is not a perfect environment that I would be navigating in 2026. So what I need is for myself to be adaptive. What I need is for myself to take certain action, or we can call it take certain movements so that I can navigate closer to where I want to be. So I'm thinking now, I'd like to throw this to you. Given all this brittleness, what's happening in our unpredictable environment, and the viewpoints that I said, we don't need a perfect plan. Is this something that you're ready to get yourself into? Because it is possible. I have seen this in with many careerists. I have experienced this myself, that having smaller plans, taking little steps towards that particular big goal or big North Star, we actually have the power to do it. We actually have the power to move closer to that ambition. The question is, are we going to exercise our choice as early as this January to just plan for simple steps and create those adaptive actions, imperfect as they may be, but can move us closer to our agenda or to our goal? So let's pause here, and I'd like to ask you a question. Are you ready to create your imperfect plans that can and will move you closer to that North Star? Thank you for spending time with me. I hope today's conversation gave you something to think about, something to feel, or something to grow from. If you resonate with this episode, share it with someone else who might need it too. And if you want more real human conversations about leadership, career, and life, make sure to follow my podcast, Ask Tina Shoson, so you don't miss the next one. This is Coach Tina, and remember, you own your life narratives. I'll talk to you in the next episode.